Hey, what's up, guys? It's your boy, Mo Damuto. We're back with another video. Today, watching Call Me Arj. And today, watching Ultra Vegito's new form, Shocks the Gods. Last time we checked, we were watching him, he about to fight the Xenoguards. And we about to see what he on for real. You know what I'm saying? We about to see what the Xenoguard, how strong they are real quick. And he about to get a new form, apparently. And, we about to get into it. Let's go.
So our story continues with a crazed-looking Vegito staring face to face, covered in dancing black lightning and violent aura, as he faces not only Mule, but two angels, Owamo and Campari, along with the god of Zeno. As with a smirk, Vegito would begin.
Hello, slave of Zeno. I hope you remember me, as not a day goes by that I have forgot about you. Yeah!
Before looking like a primal beast, the God Killer would then duck down his body into a stance that could only mean he is ready for battle, as he focuses his glare and continues.
You know, quite often as soon as I get a major power-up, the perfect test appears just in time.
Wow.
But this is the greatest of timings. Now, not only will I get my revenge for that sucker punch you gave me all that time ago, but now I will know once and for all just how much closer I am to tasting Zeno's blood.
I'm glad he finished that.
Zeno's blood.
Damn.
Filthy subspecies.
The mention of
what
his
happened to Later
master
Gator?
lord's name, leaving the guard now with a furious and steadfast look, ready to erupt back until... Silence, heathen! Suddenly, out of nowhere, the angels of Universe 1 and 3
Yeah, I might wanna sit this one
appear
out.
in front of the guard, yelling out, "You do not dare talk to the royal guards with that tone, mortal.
Shut your
You
bitch
are
ass up.
stained with the cardinal sins of murdering our brethren. Before you even think to step another foot further,
I've been drinking before I
you
did
will
this
face
reaction,
your
so.
just punishment by our hands."
Where are hands?
But hearing this, the God Killer is less than impressed, as his smirk turns to a scowl and he replies coldly,
I had a bad feeling you idiots would butt in. Listen, stay out of this, you weaklings. That giant lunk behind you has got my Saiyan blood pumping now. And I'm not going to waste a second of it on the likes of you. Wait your turn patiently, and I promise your deaths will come soon enough. But for now, his life becomes mine first.
Well, damn.
"Funny. Ha ha. Yes, quite." As somehow, without a jolt of fear for the God Killer,
Yes,
the
quite.
angels would only smile back, with Campari saying, "To think Brother Whis could stand taking you under his wing with such an attitude." While Owamo adds, "Yes, quite unbelievable really. Were there really not any other alternatives to this barbaric lug?"
Who you calling barbaric, bitch?
But Vegito, humored by their comments, would just then say threateningly,
Those are sounding like fighting words, angels. But I'm warning you, make one more move instead of stepping aside, and this will get real dark real quick.
"Who does this mortal think he is talking to?" But completely unbothered, in response, both angels, like robots, would begin twirling their staves round and round, before Campari would say, "You do realize we are the older brothers of your so-called master, don't you? Whatever you know, God Killer, is only the remnants of what we taught Whis first.
The fuck that mean?
Shut up and die!
But instantly, without a care in the world, Vegito would blast out a massive energy wave of destruction power straight for all four gods in the distance. Its speed so fast, even the Ultra Instinct-clad angels are completely unable to react until too late. Brother! But it seems, in the final nanoseconds before their complete destruction, they aren't the only ones to react, as the guard's body begins to mysteriously vanish too. Huh? No, my lord! As shockingly, the first of Zeno's guards would take back over the reins.
Ain't there two of them?
Appearing instead this time right in front of Vegito's blast.
There's only one.
Fear before.
Where's the other one at?
Pitiful.
With one palm up, faced right at the humongous blast, the guard looks as if it is about to absorb the beam, Vegito style, until, in a truly unexpected twist, instead an incredibly large force field of red energy is erected instead, protecting not only Owamo and Campari, but also Mule far behind too, as Vegito's blast just explodes on the outside, unable to penetrate even in the slightest. And as the smoke of the explosion then fades, the energy barrier remains as expected, as powerful as when first brought up, and inside, with his palm still raised, the guard is also untouched.
What the hell?
The sight
Yeah,
of the
he
red
did that.
barrier,
He did
though,
that.
leaving Vegito bewildered, having never expected such a defensive move from Zeno's right hand. As he thinks,
That's got to be a technique similar to what Android 17 uses, but way tougher. That was a strong blast. It looks like it didn't budge at all.
and eventually, safe inside, the guard would then lower his hand once more, before turning his head to give a side eye to the two angels behind, saying,
What they saying?
You three stay behind this barrier. I do not require your involvement or assistance. Part of my assignment here is to ensure your survival, and I will not fail that mission from Zeno himself. Disobey, however, and a fate worse than death will befall you.
Oh.
And with those venomous words said threateningly, the guard would then begin walking straight towards the energy barrier, before passing straight through it as if it was never there. Approaching closely now to the God Killer, before coming to a halt and remaining silent. But Vegito, observing, could not help but be pleased with the unorthodox arrangement. With one hand on his hip and a smile on his face, he would then say,
How very interesting. So you choose to fight me alone, do you? You're either supremely confident in your power, or completely out of your depth. Either way, consider it a compliment that you are far more honorable than some previous gods I've met.
Oh, okay.
Looks like Christmas has come early for me.
but the guard, as stone cold as ever, would begin then letting out his first words of true dialogue to the God Killer, as he would respond, I am not interested in any form of compliment from your kind, God Killer. Those three behind pose no threat to you, and we both know that. If I had let them out, they would have only served to get in my way. And if my research is correct, may have even increased your strength further.
Okay.
For now,
What's the problem?
I will fight you in your current state. Lord Zeno is looking for a good show between us. So perhaps, if you disappoint him, I shall let you snack on them to try again.
What? Zeno!
But this line in its entirety does nothing but stop Vegito in his tracks.
I should let you
with
snack on him to try again.
confusion.
Is
The look mutters
crazy.
out,
A show for that brat? That midget has been watching me all along.
Did you
Is
not know that?
what you're saying?
Yeah.
Then why the hell has he done nothing about it? Why has he never come to stop me himself? Why send you? Simple employee of his.
but as Vegito questioned
Oh, shit.
for the very first time, Zeno's guard would begin unbuttoning his jacket, as if removing a restricting garment, as he would look at Vegito and let out, "First of all, do not ask me why Lord Zeno does as he does. He is the god of war, my creator, and it is not my place to ever question what he desires. And neither is it yours. And secondly, I am no employee. I protect the Omni King with my life, as I owe him it and more. And finally, if you wish to address me, at least call me by name. I am Z, first of the Royal Guard, and more than enough to finish you on Lord Zeno's behalf. Do not dwell on the fairy tale of challenging one as great as him, you simple mortal."
You simple mortal.
With that
Oh,
said,
okay.
Z would then finally toss
Okay,
the weighted
Z.
jacket
I like
palm
it.
into the air, revealing a tight bodysuit underneath that resembles that of a wrapped mummy.
Come!
And with no more
Okay, throw some hands
restrictions,
then.
would then enter a familiar fighting stance, one shown by both Whis and Miras, as he would add, "Don't just stand there. Like I said, Lord Zeno is expecting a show. Your actions for the last 10 years have been some of the greatest fun the young king has seen in a while. So do me a favor and do not let him down now, Saiyan." Stunning Vegito as he soon begins to realize what a sick joke his pain and suffering must be to the gods, as he mutters,
Last 10 years? Everything that happened, that was Zeno's fun? Fun! This is all fun to you monsters!
changing Vegito's tone to one filled with madness
mean,
and anger. As
Zeno
his
coulda
teeth
just
grind and
erased
black
you.
lightning begins to dance before
This whole time.
Damn gods!
With his rage now uncontrollable, the Kempt Cool would turn to a pure explosion of power, as instantly Vegito would transform to his final Ultra form. His hair longer than usual, a black horn suddenly sprouting forth, along with a black eye, and his body and mouth wide open as he yells maniacally,
This is exactly why all of your kind must be erased! How dare you treat us mortals like such meaningless objects! I am not your personal show, but I will make damn sure this battle scars that twerp for life!
And immediately, now looking to create a violent scene, Vegito would then shoot off straight for Z. His face targeted at the Royal Guard as he yells,
None of that energy barrier nonsense! If you truly are looking to make this entertaining, then fight me head on!
very well. But in response, Z seems completely at ease, even agreeing with Vegito's demands, as he, at first, appears to be standing completely still until...
Pow!
You're taking far too long, and you're far too open. With insane speed that almost makes Vegito look like he is moving in slow motion, in a flash, Z would run by foot straight forward to look Vegito in the eyes.
You!
Shocking the God Killer as he's
He's
left
pretty fast,
wide-eyed
man.
mid-flight, as 1 second the God appears far off, and the other he appears right in front of him in a blur of velocity. This one is one of the Lord's favorite attacks. And the Royal Guard, making perfect use of his extreme speed and unexpected appearance in front of Vegito, would then launch a perfect uppercut right onto the jaw of the unsuspecting God Killer, instantly changing the direction of Vegito completely as his chin shoots straight up, immediately causing a near knocked unconscious Vegito
Knock
to
his
fly
ass
straight
up.
up like a reverse arrow up high into the atmosphere, eventually even leaving the orbit of the planet itself.
Now, leaving
in
the
what
orbit is
seems
crazy.
like nanoseconds. And as his body would travel further and further, like a ship on its way to Namek, an eerie silence and a dead look would
This
be
nigga hit
seen
him
on
off the
God
planet?
Killer's face and body.
That's crazy.
Falls into shell shock from the speed and force of what he just felt, and can only mutter,
Z! This is the gods of Zeno!
but as Vegito's uncontrollable body continues to fly upwards, above, Zeno's guard would inexplicably already be there, with his foot completely raised in an axe kick position, ready to decimate the fused Saiyan further, as Z would look down and say,
Where do you think you're going? Get back down there, where Lord Zeno can see you. What? I can't stop my body!
But the still shocked into paralysis Vegito, in response, would only be able to grit his teeth back, as it appears, from that first attack alone, he has no way now to dodge in time. Ultimately being smashed right in the face with the hard heel of the god. With such impact, the near lifeless body of Vegito then speeds back down to the planet of Mule, like an asteroid about to blow it to pieces. And with a
About to blow
humongous
it to
crash,
pieces is
just as
crazy.
expected, Vegito would smash straight down onto the surface of the planet for cataclysmic impact. And once the dust would begin to settle, brutally damaged on the ground, and unfortunately face first flat on the mud too, is Vegito. Damaged in every section, as only groans of pain can be heard. But from the depths of the groans, soon the grumbles of the God Killer rising once more is heard. Slowly but surely, pushing
What you gonna
up
do now,
the
Vegito?
ground,
Damn.
before eventually getting up to a crouched stance, huffing and puffing from the exhaustion. Until once zoomed in, we begin to see the extent of Vegito's damage from just 2 strikes from the legendary guard.
2
As he
hits, bruh.
concedes,
What is going on here? With the power I got from Yamoshi, this form should be more than enough. Why? Why is my body reacting like this? I need to get a grip and finish this.
You need to go all out.
but before Vegito could gather himself and get his confidence back up, like a bullet from the heavens themselves, Z would begin descending at an alarming rate and pinpointed to one specific location.
What?
As suddenly the eyes of Vegito burst open in terror and blood forcefully shoots out of his mouth.
You getting fucked up.
As once zoomed out, we see exactly where the shooting rocket, formerly known as Z, had indeed landed, with it being directly on the back and spine of Vegito, once again slamming
back
the defenseless
is
God Killer
broken.
back down, face
Spinal.
forward to the ground, only moments after struggling to get back up, and of course for another huge bang. And in the aftermath of the massive crater left directly under Vegito now, everything is then finally confirmed. With Zeno's guard nonchalantly seen standing on the back of
I ain't
Vegito
gonna lie, you getting
as if
cooked.
he were a cushion. His arms folded and without a
My
look
arms
of care.
open wide.
Until he would then look down at the pitiful state of the God Killer and let out, "What a waste it was to travel all the way down here. As expected, one of the remaining 5 could have handled this. Right now, I know Lord Zeno is very disappointed with how one-sided this fight is. God Killer, this is merely a warm-up, but you seem out for the count already. If 3 attacks are all that were needed to dispose of you, then perhaps, in some ways, those gods you destroyed never deserved to be in their position after all."
Damn.
But as the god would begin contemplating on this with utter confidence, soon, strange but familiar dark purple flames would arise near his face, as he would think,
Oh shit.
Is this destruction energy?
As once zoomed out, things would become more clear, as all around the body of Vegito and Z, rising slowly, would be more of the dark purple flames until...
Thanks for agreeing with me, but thanks more for the quick power-up, clown!
As suddenly with a beaming smile, Vegito would lift his
Oh,
head off
shit.
the ground, but now completely transformed into just his ultra ego alone. Vegito would reveal his power having shot up from the intense damage from Z and the stoking of his will for battle as a result. Immediately then vanishing without a trace from the very feet of the guard, causing him to lose balance before...
Okay.
Quickly, with an instant reappearance, the God Killer would then slam a high-powered fist directly onto the guard of Zeno. His first ever attack landed on the legendary god. And as Vegito would look on,
in a weaker
as
form,
the
though.
god's
What the hell?
cheek and face would move further and further, a cocky laugh would come over him as he would explain,
Surprised by the power of that Z? You see, in this form I call Ultra Ego, the more you hurt me, the more damage I can deal back to you.
Okay.
A lose-lose situation for you, but the ultimate revenge for me. Tell me, are you warmed up enough now?
but coldly, despite Vegito's attack, he would fail to realize even with Z's head and cheek being affected, the guard's body would remain stood still. As Z would look to Vegito and just say, instantly then powering up a fierce aura as he just quickly
Oh, shit,
turns
then.
back his cheek, forcing Vegito's own entire arm back with it. leaving the ultra ego-clad Vegito's ego, ironically now.
You thought that little shit was gonna work.
And without warning, with himself unfazed, Z's next move would be to pile drive a foot straight into the gut of the God Killer, taking the shocked Vegito off by chance once more as he instantly spits out blood onto the guard. His body then sent flying with less control and more speed than ever before until... viciously, the God Killer's body would then be sent crashing through 3 different mountains, smashing through each as if just kicking down
3 different
snow.
mountains is crazy.
Eventually reaching a hard and sudden halt though, when his body, just by chance, strikes its back onto the energy barrier containing the 2 angels and Mule. Huh? God Killer? No! What did that damn god just do? Is he trying to kill us? Of course, scaring the trapped and protected deities to no end as they look straight at Vegito.
You 3 are next!
And scarily, like an uncouth beast, in his anger, Vegito would just turn to the 3, reminding them of their impending fate. He can't break through this, right? Leaving the 3 petrified in fear as they wonder just how stable Z's energy blockade really is.
That damn god!
But soon, Vegito would turn his head back and get back down to the foe at hand, as with his frustration building, he would grumble.
This is outrageous. That punch should have got him with at least the same amount of power he struck me with. But he
It didn't work like that,
even
Nugo.
care. Just how much stronger could a toothpick like him really be? This
He is a
can't
Xenoguard.
be
Xenoguard.
real.
As soon, in a correlating line with his annoyance and fury, Vegito's body would begin trembling as his power level rises. And in the background, the planet's weather too would reciprocate, turning into a night sky suddenly with violent thunder and lightning shooting
Violent
everywhere.
thunder and lightning.
While the still unfazed Royal Guard would just place his hands behind his back once more and let out thunder and lightning. More unnecessary theatrics that just waste energy. How pathetic. But at least the mortal knows how to put on a show for Xenosama.
Okay.
As Z finishes, Ultra Vegito's final transformation begins, as he yells a truly demonic sounding roar that casts a shining purple light like no other, which causes his own body to be lost within it until...
About time, nigga.
Ultra Vegito finally enters his completed demonic form. Dual horns blared, his upper torso partially covered in purple fur, and both eyes now dark, as his signature black lightning and furious purple aura now surround the God Killer, with the mysterious V tribal tattoo pulsating in violent pink as it does so. What is that? Leaving the 3 divine beings perplexed, with not one having seen such a transformation from the God Killer to date. But as Vegito levitates just inches off the ground, he would then finally say himself,
Fine. Enough games. I wanted to show off just how powerful I was, even while holding back. But it seems in this story,
It's not gonna work, buddy.
I will never reach a new level of power. without a new level of competition to go along with it. Damn you, Arj.
But as he then lowers his gaze towards
Shout out to
Z,
CallMeARJ. I don't
he
think I
would
said
add,
that.
If a show is what Zeno wants, then that is exactly what he will get from here on out. But be under no illusion, this is the final act. The power of the new, strongest Saiyan in history.
Oh, okay.
As calmly, Vegito would then slowly begin
The power
rising
of
into
the
the
new
air
strongest
and
Saiyan in
away
history,
from the
okay.
energy barrier below. Rising further and further into the lightning and thunder above, as the Royal Guard's body also then begins vanishing. Reappearing to face Vegito face to face without fear.
I love it.
Just whispering.
I love it. I love it.
Good. As long as Zeno is happy, then so am I. Let us begin, God Killer. And just like that, both Vegito and Z would then instantly vanish from the scene, without a word more. And with a loud roar, the two would clash with a thunderous blow that sends multiple shockwaves all throughout the land, shaking anything and everything, even in the depths of surrounding space.
Oh, and how strong he has the Royal Guard compared to Grand
Even
Prix.
waking beings in separate quadrants of the universe. But with our first look of Vegito in the aftermath, it shows him with a truly effort-laden face, as veins pop and his teeth bare, and he stares into Z's eyes. And once we zoom out, the cause of the massive shockwave is clear, as both the Royal Guard and Ultra Vegito have clashed their almighty fists against each other, for the first time having what seems like a near equal exchange. But though Vegito seems to be giving his all, the still unchanged face of Z tells a different story, as the guard would mockingly say, I suppose this is mildly better than before. You should at least be able to bring a smirk to the young lord's face now.
I will! Straight after I rip yours off first!
Resulting in the God Killer quickly
I
then
don't know,
rushing in
buddy.
at the guard with his newfound speed after absorbing your motion. And with this level of power and speed, the Royal Guard now is forced to block the powerful blow. And so too would he, Vegito's next punch too, with the guard only internally thinking to himself at this point, so this is the potential of mortal. But with his first two attacks failing, Vegito would launch himself off to garner some distance, as the guard would then question, over already? You've hardly improved. A little more powerful and a little faster, but you still fight without grace or elegance. It seems you have no intention at all of actually challenging Lord Zeno or the priest. Do you, God Killer? Stand down now, and I will finish this for the sake of everyone.
Oh, okay, he's trying you.
Instantly triggering Vegito as his teeth begin to grind together, saying,
Don't talk to me like that!
immediately vanishing and appearing right behind Z with instantaneous speed. Speeding a fist aimed at the guard's head, but unfortunately, with perfect timing, his arm is caught instead in the grip of Z, as he turns and whispers, attacking from behind now? How disgraceful.
He on your ass. He on your ass.
Mercilessly then following this up with a vicious slam of his knee, straight into the stomach of Vegito with a thunderous impact that is heard even miles away.
Miles away is crazy.
The slam being so damaging,
So crazy.
Vegito can't help but cough out both crimson blood and spit as his internal organs begin to shatter and rupture.
My vital
And
organs.
almost as if having moved through the body of the God Killer like a ghost, Z would then be seen a distance ahead, with his back turned to Vegito, who still continues
has his back
to
towards
grip
you,
onto his damaged
Vegeta.
body in agony.
Vegito.
But now turning without a shred of caution or worry,
This nigga
Z
looking
would
at you
look
like
to
how you looking
Vegito
at
with
Frieza,
disdain
nigga.
and say,
You gotta fight this nigga.
"This is pointless. For whatever reason, Lord Zeno expected you to put up some form of challenge for me. I do not know why. Given at this level, you are not even stronger than the fourth of the five. And I am far beyond him." What? And with this shocking last line, Vegito is left nothing short of gobsmacked to hear it from the god himself as Vegito turns
Why he so
quickly and
surprised?
questions,
Far beyond the fourth? No! Why are they considered the strongest in the multiverse if even you surpassed them? Just like the priest.
Z, however, would just explain calmly. The five strongest are just deities given the name by default, as Zeno had selected them. Even the priest used to be a part of them, but once Lord Zeno grew bored, he removed him and added the new fifth. They may be the strongest outside of those who guard the Omni King, but do not get caught up in the fantasy that even they are not more than mere playthings to Lord Zeno and the priest. I've never met the fifth, but more than likely, my brother and I would make short work of him, just like I have with you.
Damn.
Give up. And hearing this, a silence would befall Vegito.
Wait, so
as
the
he
Grand
begins
Priest is not the
wiping his
fifth.
mouth of the blood he's coughed out
So there's
so
6
far.
of them. Well, Grand Priest is something
Begin
different now.
descending from the sight of Z,
So there's the
back
fourth
down to
and
the
the fifth
ground
left.
for a light thud. Gathering himself, assessing the new situation after this information, Vegeta would then think,
It's just as I thought when I fought your Moshi. No matter what I do, there's limits to what I can do as a mortal. The gap between the true gods and myself is never ending. This god, who even knows just how vast his power can be? He hasn't tried in the slightest yet, and it seems, even if I absorb the rest of the five, just he and that other god would still defeat me, let alone the priest. Is there nothing I can do?
"Hey, Vegito! Don't talk like that!"
Huh? What was that?
But suddenly, a voice from inside Vegito would suddenly call out to the God Killer, freezing him still as he wonders what even is happening. And shockingly, we would then see the
Goku
sounds
and
are
Vegeta.
actually coming from both Goku and Vegeta. As Vegito would then yell out,
What? You two? What the hell are you doing disturbing me in the middle of battle? Do you want me to come in there and embarrass you again?
but from within Vegito, we would then see Goku and Vegeta staring up at a staticky projection of the God Killer
What the hell?
as Goku with a smile would then say, "Hey, you said if we got a hit in, we'd be involved from now on, right? Well, here we are. Looks like you're about to give up. So I'd say this is a better time than any." Before Goku would then point towards a fully healed again Yamoshi in the background, continuing, "Listen, you absorbed that guy over there for a reason, didn't you? Doesn't he have a form even stronger than the one you're using? he kept his own against Kaioken times 2000. From what I heard, imagine you use that form now and then stack Kaioken on top. It's a Super Saiyan form he used. It could be done just like we do with Blue.
No! Never!
But suddenly,
Nigga, you're
mid
losing.
Goku's explanation, Vegito would instantly cut him off, yelling out in disagreement furiously. Huh?
What?
Confusing Goku and Vegeta instantly as Goku questions in a hushed tone, but why? And Vegito, now more calm and almost in a disgruntled tone, would just say hushed.
But because
Only for Vegito now to be interrupted by Yamoshi, who would add, "Allow me to explain to you fools, because if he were to access the true Super Saiyan God form, which by the way, I even doubt he could, he would become a true God. Not the silly replicas you two use, the true God form of a Saiyan. And with that, he would be no God killer no more. Not unless you planned on finishing yourself too, right, Vegito?" What? You've got to be kidding me! Surprising Goku and Vegeta once more as they try their hardest to believe this couldn't be the reasoning.
That's stupid.
But with
I
a now
get it.
steadfast stance,
I get it,
forward
but it's
as the two
stupid.
Saiyans,
It's stupid.
Vegito would confirm.
correct. And I refuse to become that which I fight so hard to get rid of. I understand you two only wish for payback on the 12 destroyers and those gods who were involved in the taking of our loved ones. But this goes deeper for me. You
It's deeper
two
than
have
rap.
no idea of the suffering I went through at their hands during those 10 years. At least in that time, you two could talk, could battle, could train, could do anything with freedom within my mind. But at that time, I just lay there in wait, chained up. My own consciousness as Vegito didn't even come into play until after the 5th year. And once I escaped what I had to do, I knew, even if I got rid of some of these gods, and not all, another would just arrive to take their place. And that power balance between God and mortal would return, eventually ending up in the horror I had to endure once more. I will not be here forever, and one day you two will be free while I disappear. I have one chance to rid the multiverse of these scum, and I will do it right. And unless you two want to die along with me, there's no way I become a god myself. Now, be gone!
And just like that, Vegito's image would then begin fading
Okay, what you
away,
gonna do now though?
before vanishing completely from Goku and Vegeta, with Goku yelling after him, "What? Vegito! No, wait!" But of course, it would be too late. But Vegeta, who up until this point had remained relatively silent, would just stop Goku and say,
Leave him, Kakarot. At this point, there's nothing more we can do. We just have to believe now in him. Believe in Vegito.
But mysteriously, behind Goku and Vegeta in the distance, another silent figure in the Demon Emperor Vegito absorbed from Guts' sword then begins to suddenly turn to smoke. But back on the battlefield in the real world, Z would then descend to the ground in front of the seemingly given up Vegito. As the guard would then question, "So, what now, God Killer? Is this show finally over?"
It ain't over till I say it's
I'm
over.
not sure you impress Zeno too much, but at the very least, I can assure you, I will be able to make your death a spectacle that would bedazzle anyone. But Vegito, though defeated in stance, would curiously then just say,
Wait! The end credits haven't rolled just yet,
Okay.
God.
Okay, what we
I've
talking?
got one
What we
last
talking?
thing I want to show that midget and priest before
All right,
we
shout out to all the
fade
midget,
to black.
little people everywhere.
as now closing his eyes and biting his lip in concentration so hard blood begins to seep, Vegito goes totally silent, seeking within for power, but from where? And suddenly, in a scary scene, Vegito's eyes would burst open, now completely black. And with an ungodly roar, would
shit.
then become completely surrounded in a pitch black aura
Oh,
that shoots
shit.
into the sky. All before Zeno's guard, who remains patiently waiting. And soon, one by one, we would begin to see changes within Vegito. His fur now turning all black and expanding across his chest. A shawl of black fur overflowing from his neck. His hands turning beastly as both horns grow larger and more vicious in nature. And finally, not only do his eyes turn a horrific shade of purple, but the black mark on his cheek, attained by Yamoshi, then grows larger and larger, now covering far more of his face.
Well, damn.
Welcome, Zeno. I hope you're watching closely. After all, this will be the final episode.
As unbelievably
Until the next episode.
accessing an entirely new form, Vegito decides if he cannot become a god to fight on these monsters' levels, he will sacrifice instead his mortality itself to become a true demon. As
He on
now,
demon time.
surrounded in an aura that would bring fear to anyone, true demon Vegito is born. But that was it
Well,
for today's
damn.
video, guys. And if you made it this far, leave me a hashtag demon.
We ain't leaving no demon hashtag over here, guys. All right, we're not doing that. Shout out to CallMeARJ, man. This was a crazy episode. This form looks crazy. The Royal Guards, he's crazy, strong as fuck. I can't wait to see the fight, how this fight goes. People say it's one of the better fights in the series, so I can't wait to see it. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Check out the last chapter over here. Check out another story about Dragon Ball right here, and I'll catch y'all next time, man. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Peace.